what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing tonight? Welcome to another Wicked Wednesday. If you guys just missed out on Bridging the Seen and Unseen with Shane McClain, then I'm telling you, you missed out on an amazing conversation with medium Morgan Caldwell. I greatly enjoyed it, and you all know I'm an advocate for her. I kind of have to be. She's my girlfriend. If I don't, I might get beat. But anyways, that aside, it was an absolutely eye-opening, fascinating conversation. I greatly enjoyed watching it. So please be sure, after the Wicked Wednesday blog finishes up tonight, to go back and watch that. If you notice, Gwen Johns is not here tonight. She is currently on another podcast called The Smoke Podcast. So, Jeremy, I see you down there. So I'm going to be kind of running this solo. She may pop in, she may not pop in. And you know what? Either way, that's fine, because we're going to run this. We're going to do this because this is what the Paranormal Unveiled does. We just have fun. We have good conversation, whether or not one of the hosts is here. So I'm not going to hold you guys back, though, because we're going to just go ahead and jump right into this conversation. I'm looking forward to having these guests on. The first time that I saw them was on the Twisted Tales podcast with Jeremy Cotter. And I thought they were amazing, fascinating guests. They had a great conversation. And Jeremy was like, well, you know, maybe I can help you out. We'll get this worked out. Yeah, absolutely. So Jeremy, huge shout out. Thank you for putting these guys on my radar. I am more than happy, and I am really beyond stoked for the conversation that we're about to have. So for everyone out there watching, please welcome to the Paranormal Unveiled family, Matt Hawks and Elizabeth Havenor. I hope I didn't fuck that up.
Hello, hello.
It's Havenor, but it's okay. Everybody screws it up. Don't worry about it. I'm so used to it.
So, like I said, there's a town very close to me. Your last name look very. I think I'm mixing the two together. Is what I'm doing.
Don't cross the streams, man. Don't cross the streams.
You know, if Ghostbusters taught me anything, we don't do that. So first and foremost, I want to say welcome to the Paranormal Unveiled family. And I thank you guys so much for coming on the show to have this conversation with me for the next hour. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be fascinating. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
Well, thank you for having us on.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
So I start every show with a typical question, but normally I only have one guest. So tonight I have two. So we're going to kind of jostle this around. It's a question for both of you guys. So Elizabeth, I know that you've had experiences that you were very young, about roughly that you can remember 1 year old, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Could you explain to us a little bit about those experiences that you can remember and how that formulated you to want to get into the paranormal?
For those who haven't seen us speak before, my parents purchased a haunted property when I was 1, and they didn't realize it was haunted, and it was an incredibly haunted property, and over the course of a year, like, built up pretty bad. And it was very akin to scenes, according to my parents, very akin to scenes that you saw in the original Poltergeist. Like, they had a very violent poltergeist in their property, to a point where even babysitters were attacked, friends were attacked, things like that. So they actually had to solicit help from the Catholic Church to deal with it. And, it's weird because I've had psychics tell me that I was touched at a young age, and that it just kind of made me open. And I use this word, but it's just because I like to say I'm sensitive. I'm not a full-blown psychic or medium, and maybe part of that's just blocking them out deliberately too. When you're living a haunted property, you don't really want to let them in too much all the time. You got to have your boundaries a little bit. But I've always just I was that girl who had the imaginary friend that actually did physical things, and my parents didn't believe that my imaginary friend was doing the things that that sort of thing. And, when I was a kid, I used to sneak down the steps, and my dad was fascinated with horror movies. And I used to I used to scare myself watching horror movies. It was I don't know, maybe because I was exposed to all that at such a young age, I was just kind of fascinated by it, even at a young age. So, I was the kid who wanted to wear black to my mom's, chagrin when she wanted to put me in pink, things like that.
Who doesn't want to wear black?
Right. So I think that experience just kind of I don't know, touched me, if you want to say, or shaped me at a very young age. And I've just, I've been the spooky, gothy, creepy, open to everything girl ever since, pretty much, so.
I've not met you personally, so I can't say whether or not you're actually creepy. But you seem pretty cool to me, so that I'll just leave it at that. Matt, I know that you come from the UK,
I
and
do indeed.
from what I saw in your bio, you always had an interest in Gothic style structures and horror and paranormal.
Yep.
So how do you feel growing up in the UK, where the buildings over there are probably 10 times older than what they are here in the US? Shaped your aspect of the paranormal? Did you have any experiences over there while exploring any of these buildings?
From a young age, we used to go to a lot of historic properties for day trips, with the parents. So we'd go to castles, we'd go to old kind of mansions, that kind of thing. And you always get told the ghosts, all the kind of spooky stories about the hauntings of these old locations. So as a child, the fascination came through that. I remember going to Warwick Castle as a child and screaming the place down when we went into the haunted room when we were kids, which I still vividly remember going into that room and just bawling my eyes out. But yeah, it's just been a fascination with history, from a young age as well, to the point where I was in reenactment societies. So we would spend the weekend, dressed up in all the period costume and reenact battles. So I did English Civil War. I was a Roundhead fighting fighting the king, and then I was also in a World War II society as well. So
Interesting.
yeah, so getting to sleep in a lot of castles in period costumes pretty cool, and you would kind of light a few things up on those weekends. I think when you've got all that emotion from old battles from the past, and then a group of people there in reenactment garb must bring some of the energy out, I think, so.
I would think so. I would think if you're dressing up in pseudo period costume, right? That in tantamount could be a trigger object to any spirit around. So I think for me that would make sense. And the UK is so steeped in history. I mean, you got the ancient Ram Inn, you got Lep Castle, you got Edinburgh. There's so much over there that is amazing. And I have never been to the UK. I plan on going there once I acquire my passport.
Well, when you do, let me know, and I will give you a list of some cool places to go to.
No, I love that. I love that. So overall, how long would you say that you've been investigating the paranormal combined? Not necessarily with teammates. We're going to touch on teammates here shortly. So how long have you guys been investigating the paranormal combined, do you think?
I mean, I've been interested in it since I was a kid, and I used to read a lot of books about ghost hunting, but didn't really start personally till later in life. So probably in my 20s, and I was 50 this year. So
you don't look it.
Thank you.
Yeah, me. I guess I started more in high school. I think honestly the catalyst, and this sounds cheesy as hell, but I think it was the catalyst for a lot of people, was going to see Blair Witch, because I grew up in Wisconsin, and there's abandoned properties left and right out here, and it's like I remember going and seeing the movie, and at the end being like, oh my God, like the end really freaked me out, because I was like, I've been in that house. Like I have been in that house. And so my brother and I actually started running around with a few friends going to abandoned properties when we were in high school, and we were carrying around the old VCR camcorder on the freaking shoulder. And
Yes.
I mean, talk about ow and pain in the ass and everything. And we had a few moments. Sadly, my brother has told me that he destroyed all of our old VHS tapes. We got some good stuff on that back in the day too, which was so sad. Like we had one night that literally ran out screaming because something grabbed my foot on a staircase. And I distinctly even remember what it looked like on the video, but sadly that evidence is gone forever. But and just like my husband, I'm turning 50 this year too, so I've probably been doing it now for God, I don't even know how long.
I'm
I
just
think
gonna
I was
go on a
probably
limb and say
15,
we all look
16.
younger than what we are because I'm
Yeah.
40.
Gen
So-
X. Yeah.
But I actually recall those old school over the shoulder freaking cameras. Depending on the style you had, those things were heavy.
Heavy. Oh yeah, and even the light ones, give yourself 15-20 minutes of that thing being on your shoulder and you were like,
Yes.
oh,
Yes, they
With
sucked
the big
carrying them.
cassettes that used to go in them
oh
as
yeah,
well.
oh yeah, and you had to carry around spares, and the batteries were like the size of like the jump starter batteries now for cars and everything.
I'm
just
actually
on the back.
I'm actually relatively sure I have a few of those cassettes in my closet. I'm an antique camera collector, so I love antique cameras and stuff like that. And I've got a film projector from 1923 with all the original leather pulleys.
Wow.
Oh, cool. That's neat.
I can tell you right now, when you plug the thing in, you turn it on, it smells like it's going to catch fire.
I believe it. I believe it.
And it very well may. That's probably why I don't use it. But yeah, I acquired this 1977 Bell & Howell 8mm reel-to-reel camera. And I went and looked up the film. It's got to take Catachrome, and freaking, I'm sorry, I'm not paying $55 for 8 minutes of video.
Yeah, right.
But I would love to be able to utilize that in an investigation, especially if it's an older style location, because you don't know, the spirits there may recognize that style camera.
Oh, yeah.
Right, exactly.
And you may capture different activity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, with that being said, what is your opinion on trigger objects? Do you think that when you bring in something that is period to the building that existed, right? You bring in something that will be period. Do you think that heightens your chance of maybe interacting with spirit, or do you think that the spirits just don't care?
I think it does. I mean, back in the UK, I used to take period coins, sort of reproduction coins, and I used to do things the old school way, before all the gizmos and all the gadgets took over. So I would put an object down and then draw a circle around it, and then just leave it, and then just to see if it's moved out of that circle, kind of thing. So I mean, I do believe they work. And like I said earlier about the period costume, that is a great way of bringing out any energies. It's one thing that we've talked about doing here at some point, maybe getting some
more period costuming, even just to see what brings them out. But yeah, we've even told people who come here to ghost hunt that there are some spirits in here that will readily speak to you on an Ovilus or a spirit box or Phasma box or whatever. And then there are others that are just like, I don't know what that is. I don't trust that. And they'll only talk to you on a flashlight or a pendulum or dowsing rods, and they want nothing to do with them fang-dangled electronics. Like, they don't trust them. So yeah, I mean, that happens too, even with your ghost hunting equipment. I think that's why it's so important to still have the old school stuff around no matter what, because you will have some spirits that are just like, I even if you're telling me how to use that, I just don't trust it. I don't know what that is.
I mean, we last year we brought a REM pod disguised as a Jack Daniels bottle, and
haunted bar,
because we
right,
because we had a speakeasy in the basement. It's one of the places where we actually get it to go off in the basement. It's gone off on the bar a few times. That time, our carpenter came in the one day to do some work for us, and he just happened to be walking through the bar whilst we were closed, and we just happened to have it on the bar on. It just started going off on the bar when no one was by it. So that seems to work well. We've also got one that looks like
a cigarette pack.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah, that one's actually really cool because it's set up where you open the cigarette pack and it only triggers if they touch the fake cigarette in it, which
is so cool.
But even period stuff too, like, we go antiquing all the time, which, can be a good thing and a bad thing, because you got to be careful antiquing. You might bring some more stuff in. You know, people hit us up pretty frequently, like, oh, I saw this thing on Facebook, and it's like some twisted demonic looking doll that looks like it's been through the freaking shredder already, and it's like haunted doll, good free, and they're like, do you want this for your place? And I'm like, yeah, no, I think we're good. You know, it's like, just because it's haunted doesn't mean we want to hear. Like, you know, there's some stuff that it's like,
someone offered us a haunted piano.
Haunted piano recently. Yeah, plays on its own, stuff like that. Well, we already have a piano; they can play that if they want to. You know,
right,
like,
right.
It's good. But yeah, I did deliberately buy. We have a couple children in here from being a smallpox hospital. I deliberately bought a late 1800s doll and put it on the shelf just for, we know we have a little girl in here, and you know, so we have like a couple of like little wooden trains and things like that, you know, and we're conscientious of that too, trying to give them things from their time frame that hopefully will give them a little comfort, because we call them our permanent residents because it's their home too. So we like to give them some objects too that just might make them feel like they're, you know, it's home, and that, you know, they're more comfortable, and then will interact with us a little bit better. So yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. And I definitely want to touch back on the equipment in a little bit, because I had a few follow-ups for that, but I want to kind of shift gears, and I want to talk about the Humbird. So what can you tell us about the history of the location, which is, if you guys don't know, no, they're going to tell you, the Humbird is a haunted bar and grill in which you guys own.
Yes. That is correct.
Can you tell us something about like about the history and experiences that guests report and experiences that you've had yourself?
Ooh, it's a laundry list.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's a laundry list.
You don't have to go through it all. Just
no. I mean, the
highlights.
biggies. I mean, it was built in 1869 to support the railroad as a hotel, bar, and grill. But its biggies is it's been used as a Masonic lodge, a smallpox hospital, a brothel, and we were speakeasy on Capone's Highway. We are on what was called Capone's Highway, which is Highway 12 in Wisconsin. It was the main drag to go from Superior all the way up to Duluth until our interstate was put in the 1960s. So pretty much every bar along Highway 12 was part of Capone's like rum running, right. and we actually have like the intact speakeasy door in our basement, complete with the slider window and everything, and that's like so rare to find that, and that was a blessing. And it's so funny too, because it had been like foamed in, and none of the former owners told us that this place had been a speakeasy. My husband discovered it one day. He realized what it was, and he was like, holy crap.
So yeah, I took to getting all the insulation foam out, you know, with a screwdriver, really, really carefully, because some of the wood was really brittle around the window. And yeah, it started working again. So
yeah, even has the original mesh, you know, in the door, you know, where they slide the window open, so the mesh was there and everything. Yeah. But you know, we know that it's been other things too. It's been a dance hall. It's been one time it was a saloon and confectionery, which we think is a cool combo. It was a bar on one side of the first floor and then a candy shop on the other. So
that is a very weird combination.
Yeah, treats for young and old, and but primarily it has been a hotel, bar, and grill, and it's just that, you know. You know, we were kind of Wild West at a certain point. Hurley, Wisconsin was technically the first Las Vegas before Vegas happened, right? So it's like, you know, this whole area was a little fun back in the day. Fun, you know, you can say that loosely, you know, Wild West, you know, but
right.
But yeah, those are the biggies. As far as like what we've experienced, it's a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah, everything from, I mean, about 15 to 30 minutes after moving in, I saw the black mist, which past owners nicknamed the Creeper. That went sailing past the doorway as if it was coming down the stairs and out of the front door.
We joked that it was it was the ghost running away from us. That when we moved in, they were like, who are these weirdos? Let's get them out of here.
I like it.
But, Elizabeth had her like back to the door, and she was talking to me, and I saw it go past behind her, and I just zoned out because I was just like, what the hell was that? And I had to apologize to her and say, yeah, I just saw something go past the door. And I said, yeah, maybe I'm tripping balls because we've been driving for 3 days, but yeah, I saw something go past the door.
We have an open portal in here too. A few owners ago, they hung two mirrors facing each other, and one spontaneously cracked on its own one day, according to locals. And so, yeah, we have an open portal in here, and that makes things dynamic too, because we don't just have our permanent residents. Like, we've had people come in specifically for our guests, which is, kind of beautiful when, people are getting connection to, past loved ones. It's always jarring, it kind of throws people off guard, but there's usually many tears of joy and just, kind of happiness with that. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. And, but yeah, I've seen, we tell people it doesn't matter what time of day around here. I have been physically touched. I have been, multiple times, including in this room here.
In the room we're in now, we're in the Humbird suite, and this is where
the ass pincher lives.
Ass pincher.
The ass pincher, huh?
Yeah. He's kind of a fun story. People like it when I tell this story. I was in here one day cleaning up after some guests had stayed. And I was vacuuming, and, so I was just vacuuming the rug and, not paying attention. But I kept feeling like a hand on the small of my back. And ladies know exactly what this feels like. It kind of feels like the hand it's that hey baby kind of hand coming to your small of your back. And I just kept brushing it away. But I knew what I was feeling. And I was just like, okay. After like the fourth time, I was just like, I'm not in this right now. So I just stopped vacuuming, and I just stopped and I said, look, I don't know who you are, but I have not given you permission to touch my back right now. So please stop touching my back. So I went back to vacuuming, and within 5 seconds, right in my right butt cheek, he got a big old grip and just a big old grab, and I died laughing. I stopped vacuuming, right? And I just died laughing, and I was like, that's my fault. I was strangely specific. I didn't say stop touching me. I said stop touching my back. So I can't really be mad at you for that, right? That was my fault. Well,
Fair.
Now it's turned into a joke, and he's probably gotten at least a half a dozen ladies in here ever since. I tell everybody it's the right butt cheek. And it's always the ladies with a little bit more junk on their trunk. He likes us with a little meat on our potatoes, but he'll always get a nice good chunk in there, and he'll just, and it's just part of our. We have some drunk caddy. They're still here to have a good time ghosts, and they're the ones that keep it lively and keep it fun in here for sure. So
what you're telling me is if me and the girlfriend ever come to visit there, I know which room I need to take.
Yeah, well, if you're not satisfying, he might step in. You never know.
You know what? I personally consider myself a disappointment in all aspects. So I mean, it's very possible.
I hope she's watching this going, oh no, honey, no.
I'm sure she is. But so sorry, we got off a tangent there. So can I ask you guys your own personal opinions on this? Just because it's not a topic I typically touch on, but I feel like it's kind of pertinent to when it comes to haunted locations, right? So do you guys feel that all of these people out there, doing their YouTube, doing their social media stuff, do you feel that the way they're representing the paranormal, as far as locations, not just locations, I guess, but the equipment they're using as well, do you feel like it's a help or a hindrance to furthering the field of research?
A bit of both.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think it's been helpful, and just, social media has helped us openly communicate about it more. It's become less taboo. I remind people all the time that even the generation before us, the boomer generation, when they grew up, mental institutions were still a thing. If they said they were hearing voices, they could be tossed in for any reason. So it was very taboo for many generations. And it hasn't really been until, Gen X and the later gens that we've been more open in talking about that, because that fear of getting locked up, isn't there anymore, to talk about it. But I do think that there's a chase to get the evidence, and that the evidence becomes more of a focus than the interaction itself. Some of the people that we see that aren't even they're not amateurs, they're more of the flip. I would call them the B or C grade in the industry, not the big wigs, not the guys with the TV shows and stuff like that, but the ones that would want the TV shows. What I see is a throwaway to history and fact
Agreed.
for evidence and clicks. It's more about, I'm going to generate this little stupid TikTok video and get my clicks so I can get my 2 bits from Facebook, you know, as a digital creator today, than to actually verify the legitimacy of what I'm putting up. You know, there's this chase for, because I maybe, okay, so social media has been great, but the monetization of social media has been a problem, because that makes people like, become like not even necessarily disingenuous, but they've forgotten to go full circle with it. You know, it's just they're generating content to a point where it's almost becoming mindless content, and that doesn't help. You know, it's
sorry.
Sad.
Sorry, Morgan. I forgot. So Morgan is a medium. She's my girlfriend. I forgot to tell her we were going to talk about the history.
Yes.
She doesn't like knowing history.
Oh yes, okay. Yep, and totally understanding and respect that. Like when we do guided ghost hunts, we do a little small short history talk, you know, because we as regular ghost hunters think that it's a good idea to have an idea of who you're talking to, but mad respect to psychics, mediums that don't want that, that want to come in cold because they want to be able to verify that, right? So they don't want to be led, and so we have respect for that.
We actually appreciate more, because then we know, you know, they're not trying to fake anything either.
Yeah.
If they're going in green, then anything that they come out with gives it more
credence. Yeah, absolutely. So no, we're not talking about the history right now, Morgan. So.
No. I typically I'm so used to having the co-host, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna start talking about the history, Morgan. So please jump out of the show.
Oh, thoughtful.
And I just completely skipped it.
Oh, that boyfriend.
In this case, yes. So she didn't hear any of what I said earlier, so we're good. But
yeah, going back to the social media thing, I think we have had some good outcome out of it, because when we started our like ghost hunting together, we were using it to look for haunted locations. So I think it's actually a good thing to find places that you want to go to visit, that you wouldn't normally know about.
Like us, you know, we're not in the top 10, you know, most haunted in the country or anything, but you know, we're making waves in Wisconsin, which is great, you know, because we're the first owners that have openly advertised that it's haunted and embraced it and encourage people to come here for that reason. So, you know, we're sharing that with people, but yeah, I agree with you that it does help people to know about other places, because, you know, we've been to places where it's like, you know, we've been to some pretty notorious places where hardly anything's happened. And my theory is always like, these spirits here are so sick and tired of talking to people that they're just over it and they're done, right? They're like, they've told their story a bazillion times and they don't care anymore.
So not another one.
Yeah, not another one. Jesus, I got to have this again. Can you at least buy me dinner before you?
I can speak for that, because I had a very similar experience the time that I went to investigate the Lizzie Borden house.
That's where we had nothing happen whatsoever.
Nothing.
We even tried a Ouija board for the one and only time, and nothing happened.
Our own rule of using a Ouija board. Yeah.
I laid on the couch and recreated the murder of Mr. Borden.
I lay on it myself. Yep.
I hunkered down on the floor. We were staying in the room where Mama got off.
And I slept on the floor where they found her body.
Exactly. Nothing. I did get a little ill in that room a few times. I felt a little sick where I had to walk out. Like I could feel the uneasiness of like the energy in there. But as far as like actual activity or anything happening, or even communication, there was just nothing. It was just like, no, we're done.
No, it was
Maplecroft is a different story, though. Maplecroft.
It was one of the most quiet nights I've ever had in my time of investigating the paranormal, and it really was really disappointing to me, because I had heard so much about this location, how the activity is nonstop, and I get there and I'm like, "What? The ghost not like me or something? Like what's going on here?"
Right.
But I mean, I went down in the basement by myself. I got a bit uneasy down there. Because there's that on the wall, there's that patch that's supposed to
the
look like a
ghost
face as
image
well. That's on the wall,
in the basement.
but
Yeah.
I went down there by myself for a while, and yeah, that was a bit unnerving. But again, like nothing happened though. I mean, I didn't experience anything. I just felt a bit unnerved. That was all. But
So
I mean, when we did the Conjuring House, and that was
basement.
That was more lit.
Yeah, I have not had the pleasure of doing the Conjuring House yet, unfortunately.
We were fortunately in there when Corey owned it. You know, bless Corey.
Yeah.
And we miss them so much, you know, but that, you know, we will just leave that whole hot mess to because that's just a hot mess, right? It's like it's about, as we were talking about before we came on, paranormal drama. That's like probably the apex of paranormal drama right now is the Conjuring
legitimate
House. So,
legitimate, yeah. Absolutely. But I guess for me that's where I was kind of getting at with my question, which I loved your guys' answers, by the way. Is do you think that the paranormal, as far as social media, overhypes locations, or do you think that maybe these people are legitimately experiencing things, but the factors when other people visit just are not precise enough for them to experience the activity themselves?
I think sometimes owners do themselves a disservice. There's been plenty of places that we've gone to. Most haunted this, most haunted hotel, most haunted house, most haunted this, most haunted that. And it's like weird how every place we go is the most haunted, no matter what.
America's most haunted hotel. And you're thinking, what, another one?
Another
America's most haunted hotel.
Weird, because we were just at that one like last year. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you see it, and I even see it on flyers like, can stop it with the AI flyers, people, because you're not doing yourselves any help with that either. I'll be brutally honest.
I'm not a fan.
Like it's like we've seen flyers for places where
they all look the same,
and they're all looking the same, so it's really hard to tell. It's like, okay, you've made all these places look super spooky. I can't even tell what the property is anymore. But not only that, like they'll all say like most haunted this or most haunted that, and that's not helping them either. And then sometimes they just even forget to list like the name or the address or things like that.
I have seen that. I have seen that.
And I'm like, quality control, people. Don't just trust the robots. Quality control. You gotta look at that stuff.
or they say they're doing a charity event, but don't list what they're raising money for. It's like, well, are you raising it for the property? Are you raising it for a charity for something else? It's just like, I don't know what's going on here, so why would I book if I don't know where the money goes?
Lack of details, lack of details. Basically.
Right, and that's what I loved about doing the Broadhead Beard Brawl, was they were very specific about the charity they were raising money for.
That's important. You know, you have to have that. You know,
as a lot of people that don't have transparency, and it's just like, well, yeah, you don't know. You're more reluctant to read anything else because you think, well, you're not telling me everything that's going on. And if you can't tell me what's going on, it's not really my job to ask. You should be telling us, you know. So,
and we do know that there's some property owners too that don't do the history, which is really weird. I mean, I can respect a psychic or medium or somebody coming in to visit not wanting to know the history, not wanting to do it cold. But if you're an owner and you're saying, hey, this place is haunted, you should know why. Like you should either, it's not just like, you know, you should have, if you can't produce evidence, then you should have the history and you should know why. Like, we won't disparage because we don't, you know, drop names when we disparage, but we actually were at a place even last year where we asked the owners, oh, what makes this place haunted? What's the history behind it? Who died here? Oh, we don't know. How long have you owned this place? Like
what?
Oh, like 7 years. How could you not know? How could you not know who died here? How could you not know what makes it haunted? Well, it's just because it's this type of building. No, that doesn't make it haunted. So there are
no sense.
There's some
and
you know, charlatans in
and
this
the
world
whole point
too,
so. I think being a ghost hunter or paranormal investigator, you need to research history. It's all part of the job.
Yeah.
Because that's how we find a lot of our history out, is from our ghost hunts, believe it or not, because we'll have something come up on a ghost hunt and we'll be like, well, what the hell's that all about? So we'll basically research it, and then we'll find out a piece of local history that the ghosts were actually talking about, and that is amazing when we get stuff like that come through.
Yeah, it's so great when we have a ghost hunt, we get something and it just throws us off, but then we go into like newspaper archives or census or whatever, and we can get all that verified, and it's like, wow, this is cool, and that's where we get super excited, because that just lends to the legitimacy of the intelligent responses that we're getting and the information that we're getting. And it's like, we get super excited when that stuff happens. So we, as owners, are like looking at another owner and having an owner going, I don't know when it's haunted. It's like, so this is just a sideshow attraction then for you, huh? You're not actually truly interested. That's the difference, right?
And to go off what Matt was saying about, as a paranormal researcher, that's what you're supposed to do. You research the history.
Right.
If you're a medium, obviously, if you don't want to know the history, that's fine. But I love showing this off because I research. Like, I love going to Medfield State Hospital in Medfield, Massachusetts, right?
Oh, been there. Yeah, yeah.
I love This is my research folder for Medfield.
Wow. Very cool. Very
and
cool.
I have a separate folder completely for the cemetery.
Nice.
So this is how I research.
Yeah, no, that is how you do it.
Yeah, we've walked into many places with a folder and like printouts of like stories from the past and stuff like that. Absolutely, yeah.
So many people they go in blind and they don't know the history, and so when they get a response, like say they're using an obelisk, or even if you're using an app, or a name comes to an obelisk or an app, and you're like, well, that name, I don't know what that means. Well, maybe, just maybe. Had you done your property research,
right,
that name might correlate with you.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer, and I agree with you, Matt, about doing property research. Absolutely.
Yeah, that bothers us. So, yeah, I think social media, like I said, it's to go back to that idea, it helps getting new different places out there and give people exposure, but the monetization of it and some of the shenanigans with advertising and stuff like that with some places just kind of, it's you have to be careful. I would say, is somebody who's watching this who hasn't been in this world for a long time, or you just dabble in it, or if you're looking at that $300-$400 weekend someplace, really look into it. Really make sure that you know the history, because honestly, it could just be, I hate to say it, there are the cash grabs out there too. So you got to be careful. I mean, we try to run the place like as the best experiences that we've had in certain places. Like when we do guided ghost hunts, we feed everybody first. We tell everybody, look, ghost hunting is a physical activity. It doesn't seem like it, but it is, because you're sitting there and you're turning all your senses on, right? And that alone takes energy and takes takes a little bit out of you. And so we're like, here, have some pulled pork and some mashed potatoes and a bunch of veggies and stuff. Eat up before you ghost hunt, just because, we want people to have a good experience, and we don't want them to fade and everything. So, we try to approach it like, try to give a good, well-rounded experience without charging people an arm and a leg too in the process. So.
And I mean, I think you're always going to have those people out there that are doing it for the fame aspect as well, but you can kind of spot the fame whores, and I kind of we like to distance ourselves from the people that you could just tell they're just in it for
they want to sell autographs at the end of the day. That's basically all they want.
I mean, we never came into this to be an amazing YouTube channel or anything like that. I mean, I haven't got the time to do I mean, I've got so much video going back years that we haven't even got up on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we have so much evidence that we haven't uploaded. It's painful.
You just have to be careful of some of the fake people out there, and the amount of people that go to the same places all the time as well. It's they're always it's always like like the sort of usual suspects. So they'll be talking about all the notorious places like the Borden House, and no one. It's nice to see people go outside of just the ones that are always talked about. Find some hidden gems. That are just tucked away.
We have friends that run a podcast here in Wisconsin. They told us all about going to the. It's now just an empty lot, but it was the former home of, oh God, I can't remember the guy's name. The movie Natural Born Killers, is based off of a true story. No, it's not Ed Gein.
I know that he was from Wisconsin as well.
Yeah, but this was in Kansas actually, and they I can't remember the name of the original of the actual person that's based off, but the whole Mickey Mallory scenario with the killing of the parents and everything, that is based on a true story. And they went to the property, and the house has been leveled now. It's just an empty lot, but they set up a bunch of recorders, and they got freaking gunshots on their recorders.
They actually got an EVP.
They actually got EVPs of gunshots. But here's a place that's like a movie was based off of it. And yeah, there's no house there anymore for you to go to, but there's an empty lot. And if you go, and they went to this empty lot just to see if they could get anything. And we thought that was so cool because we were like, nobody goes there, right? Nobody talks about that place. So yeah, we love people who go off the beaten path. We try to do that too. We're like, let's go to this weird lighthouse. Let's go to this weird ship. Let's go over here. Yeah, we try.
I love me a good lighthouse.
Oh yeah.
when I investigated the St. Augustine lighthouse down there in St. Augustine, Florida, and when I did the lightkeeper's house and the lighthouse, I love that place. It's so awesome. I hated the 244 steps to get to the top. But I love the fact that every 55 steps they gave you a platform where you could sit down on the bench and rest. But I did not realize we're freaking 44 minutes in already. Okay, so I want to talk about the Team H adventures. So when did you guys start this, and what exactly is it that, for people out there who are watching that don't know, what is it exactly you guys do?
Well, we started it during the COVID years. We basically we were DJs, concert promoters, worked in theatre. So the first thing to get shut down was the arts. So whilst we were sat at home twiddling thumbs, we were basically looking up any local haunted things in the area, and we just went out and investigated them because we thought, well, it's something safe you can do because we're by ourselves. We were going down Rabo, I can't pronounce it. Rabo, the hitchhiker
Route 44 in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts. So we drove down there to look for the phantom hitchhiker. We
go into the Bridgewater Triangle.
Bridgewater Triangle, and then we were visiting horror film locations is a big one that we do as well. Anything that's macabre, that's to do with battles, murders, horror films, ghost hunting, go out. Great
real tragedies. Yeah, we like to just go out and explore those places and stuff like that. And it's something we did as a hobby. It was like we've never been like, oh, pay us to go and ghost hunt this place or support us or Patreon us or anything like that. It's just, if you want to watch us walk through some weird spooky places, sure, check us out. But yeah, that's all the places we go outside of here pretty much. And we've touched on, we've been to Conjuring House, Lizzie Borden, we've done Sally, stuff like that. Some of the other things we've done is what's the ship we did in Charleston, USS Constitution? Is that what it was?
We did
a ship in Charleston. We've done lighthouses in Michigan. We've done we've been we bomb all over. We did the Clown Motel out in Nevada. That was fun.
I've been there.
The extraterrestrial highway is just a bomb. We drove that whole thing.
We rolled up to the back gate of Area 51.
Went to Area 51.
So I'm not the only one who's been there. I actually lived in Nevada for a few years.
Nice. Yeah,
I can confirm if you get too close, armed guards will remove you.
Yeah, we stumbled across. Well, we went to Rachel. We asked for directions, and they told us, oh yeah, you take this turn.
Well, they were like, you can go down here, here, or here, and you can, on these dirt roads that aren't marked. And we just managed to pick the one that was the most heavily armed.
Yeah,
Man, of course. I was like, damn it.
It was a huge gate with, and like you could see buildings behind it. And if they could trust us to roll up on the gate,
trespassers will be shot on sight. Thumbs up. Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of rolled up, did a slow U-turn. I'm panicking because I'm like, I don't want to get deported.
I mean, I'm going, I'm a citizen. I pay my taxes. I want to see what's behind these gates. And he's like, no, honey, no.
And so we basically got, a selfie from afar.
Yeah, we selfied.
And drove off. But it was a cool experience.
It is.
And then obviously we started building a website. It's more so to share with other people where you can find these locations as well. Yeah. We'll actually put like each location we go to on a map, so you can actually click on it and find it for yourself.
Yeah, you could just GPS like it straight from the teammate site.
If it's a horror film location that you're interested in, like we've been to The Purge, Anarchy, that was filmed in Rhode Island. So all the locations we go to, we link them so people can find them for themselves. We're not trying to make money out of it. If it's to help other people find them too and enjoy them.
No, yeah. I would love to find that. What is the name of that website?
teamhadventures.com.
teamhadventures.com. And it is behind, because we're self-employed hotel bar and grill property owners that sometimes don't get enough time to sleep, much less make videos and upload them, and we love it when our guests send us stuff and they're like, oh, I got this photo, or oh, here, check out this video, because we're like, oh, thank you, because it does save us so much time. Or we're getting buried into things like ordering stuff and for the business and everything, where we really just want to things like that, where it's just like, we just really want to be making a video to put up on our website. But all we hope is at some point this place gets notorious enough where we can hire a couple extra people to help us out, so we can make basically catch up. Otherwise, I joke that that's what we're going to be doing in retirement. People always wonder what they're going to do in retirement. We're going to be uploading all of our evidence, because that's how long it's going to take for us to freaking get all of our evidence.
Being a paranormal investigator yourself, how much footage you come back with. And you've just got hours of footage of a room that you have to watch. You just have to sit there and watch this empty.
It's like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Because
listen to this 12 hours. No.
I think a lot of people miss out on that aspect. They don't realize when you go into a location and you investigate for, say, 8 hours, right? You're doing 8 hours. You bring 8 cameras. If those cameras are running for all that 8 hours, do the math.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you have all that footage to go through, and that's not even including the audio.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the photographs.
Yeah.
There is a lot that goes into it. And
the photos are easy to do, at least.
Speaking of places where movies were shot, Medfield State Hospital, Shutter Island was shot there.
Yeah, that's on our website.
Yeah, because we stomped around Medfield.
Shutter Island, X-Men: The New Mutants was shot there as well. There was actually a scene in X-Men: The New Mutants that was shot in the hydrotherapy unit, where a man boiled to death in a hot hydrotherapy bath.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
If you didn't know that, now you do.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty typical, sadly, asylum story,
It is, unfortunately. So let me ask you guys, do you guys have a TikTok or anything like that?
We have a YouTube channel, which we've got a few videos on there for the Team H.
And we have a separate one for the Humbird.
We have a separate one for the bar. We have a website, obviously, for the Humbird Hotel, humbird hotelbar.com.
Yeah. We're on Facebook. I started an X account last year, but have not slaved it. And I know people have yelled at us about going on TikTok, but it's like, you know, again, like we don't even have time to like do videos, you know, like actually upload videos. So like to get into like doing TikTok videos all the time, I'm like, I don't even know when we'd have the time to do that half the time. But, you know, it's like, yeah, we're probably missing out on a lot of social media traction, sadly. So, you know, but, you know, it's just, we're human beings and we can only do so much, you know.
Where we touch on that in about 6 minutes. I was specifically asking about TikTok because there's all these paranormal investigators that are doing TikTok lives. And here's the thing, when you're doing lives, these people are saying, if you send me X amount of gifts, I'll put a camera in the spot. Or you send me X amount of likes, because we're hearing noises, I'll put a like why are you asking for gifts and why are you asking for likes if you're there to document?
These are the type of people I haven't got the time of day for.
Yeah, it's gross.
Because they're not in it for the what's the word I'm after? The legitimacy. Again, they're after the clicks, they're trying to be famous, they're trying to make money. Well, they're obviously trying to make money. And that's I haven't got the time of day for those people. I'm sorry.
I don't either. I actually was watching a live.
It does delegitimize the whole thing too, because that then, especially now with AI, you know, I mean, you get somebody like that. How do you know that they're not just manufacturing something to get you to gift them something?
Right.
You know, that's BS. You know, like, oh, gross. Ew.
And I was watching a live the other probably about 3 or 4 months ago. Not to say that about 3 or 4 months ago. And this team was like, oh, well, you guys can hear the movement over here. If you send us X amount of gifts, we'll put a camera over there. Bitch, just put the camera.
Yeah.
Right?
Let us see. Let us see what's going on.
Oh, yeah. It's like you're investigating it, so investigate it. You know, it's like, what do you need? Yeah, again, they're just in it for the money. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, and I actually invited them on my podcast because I wanted to call them out on that said live.
Good for
and
you.
High five.
Good for you.
They were like, yeah, we're not interested. Yeah, you're not interested because you're not doing it legitimate.
Yeah.
And they might be faking stuff too. I mean, we've actually seen even videos of legitimate paranormal investigators going into properties that they think are legitimately haunted, and then discovering that the owners have rigged it.
Yes.
And that breaks our heart to see too. And you know, we know that there's an area very close to us that's a little known to be tourist trappy and to do that kind of stuff. Wisconsin Dells area, you got to be a little bit careful around there about what's actually legitimately haunted and what isn't legitimately haunted. Kind of like Salem, right? Like if you're in New England, you know Salem's the same way. There are some places that are totally legitimate and they're awesome, and then other places that are just tourist trap nonsense. And you have to be really careful. So,
I got the privilege of investigating the Satanic Temple there in Salem last
year.
Yeah,
it's on our website.
We stayed in the room. Did you stay in the room?
I was not able to stay in the room. I was only allowed. It was a public event. We were only allowed there for I think like 4 or 5 hours. But the place is amazing.
Oh yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
It's weird with all the fucking medieval tortured masks on the wall. Like I love the place. It was awesome. So I told you guys in the pre-show. I wanted to touch real quick. Sorry, Elizabeth, I wasn't trying to interrupt you.
No. It's your show, honey.
No, it's your show. I'm just a guy. So, curiosity is, what are your opinions on cryptids?
We actually have a local legend in Humbird of a cryptid. The beast of Emerson Lake.
Lake Emerson.
Of Lake Emerson.
The beast, the elusive beast of Lake Emerson. As written by none other than Chad Lewis, who doesn't live very far away from us. You know, Chad Lewis is great. He's nice. Been here too.
He's the one who made us aware of it.
Yeah, actually, he told us about it. He was like, "Do you know you had a cryptid right in your own backyard?" I'm like, "What?"
But that was in the
1930s and 40s that it was seen and everything. But opinions on cryptids. I mean, I definitely think that you know, if you watch, again, if you're into history and you're into research and all this stuff, you know that scientists say that they're discovering new species all the time. That we do not know everything that's walking this planet. You know, the ocean is a vast, unexplored area. I think we know more about space when we do our own oceans, which is kind of bizarre. So it's like between, evolution and just change, and then, going into areas that people haven't really, dug into and stuff, we're always finding new species. I think that some cryptids are definitely, stories, or made up and stuff like that, folklore, or it was something that, ended up driving some tourism to an area that needed some tourism, and it's okay, if that was the case, if it makes everybody happy. But I do think that there's some legitimacy to some of them. I think something like a thunderbird is completely legitimate and real. These vast birds, from Native American lore. I think that's, I think that those existed at some point. Bigfoot, probably, even though we've had sketchy kind of evidence on Bigfoot, some of it looks, legit and some of it doesn't. I just think that I think there is some weird creature that just is very good at avoiding us.
I think the last Bigfoot sighting in our area was in 2022, because we're in a heavily sort of woodland area. So there have been Bigfoot sightings, in our area.
And fun fact, Wisconsin is the werewolf capital of the world, if you didn't know.
Bray Road.
Yeah, Beast of Bray Road. So yeah, it's been spotted more times than any other werewolf. And I mean, there's definitely been times where I've seen some weird shapes in woods and things like that, where you're not really sure what that is, or you hear a weird howl where you're like, okay, I grew up in a town of like 10,000 people, but I spent a lot of time in the woods, and every now and then you hear a weird animal voice that you're like, that doesn't sound like any animal I know of. And so I do think that there's some things out there that just, and whether are we dimension hopping? Or are they just really good at, avoiding us, whatever it might be?
We went Bigfoot hunting in October Mountain in Massachusetts, because there've been Bigfoot sightings there over the years. So that was our one and only time we did Bigfoot hunting, but that was really good fun. I think a lot of cryptids could also be animals, escaped animals, especially like in times gone by. If an escaped alligator got out from somewhere where it's not normally, where it hasn't got a normal habitat, and somebody sees it, they're probably more likely to say, "Oh, I saw this monster," So I think some of them can be that related, but I do believe there are many creatures out there that we don't know about. In fact, there was an X-Files episode where Fox Mulder says something along the lines of X amount of animals go extinct each day, how many new ones are being made, so.
Well, and I believe in mad science too. You can't live in today's age, and I mean, when you've got places like Plum Island, New York, and you see some of the weird creatures that have washed up on the shores sometimes, or all of a sudden it's like we know you have to be blissfully naive or willfully naive to not think that there aren't some people behind closed doors that are, let's see if pig and elephant DNA just will splice. It's like, that kind of thing.
Right. It's very similar to the Montauk Monster.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking of, the Montauk Monster.
And so, guys, I see we just hit that hour point.
Before we had such a good
close the show out, I will tell you, I think the Hodag is absolutely ridiculous.
I know, right? You gotta love him though.
There's no way that thing exists, but he's awesome, and I love him.
Right.
So, as far as other cryptids, Bigfoot, if you look over it through history, every country has its own Bigfoot. In Australia, you have the Yowie. In Asia, you have the orang pendek. And in the Himalayas, you have the Yeti. There's no way all of these countries back in this day that had no form of communication were seeing similar creatures that did not exist.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I'm going to end my show right now because I have 3 typical questions that I ask every single guest. What's going to be a little bit different here? Oh, yeah, you're joining as I end the show.
Well,
But
you guys,
so,
I'll tell you like this, and I know Nate is real stickler about that. I hate I missed it. I was on a show and it ran long, as they do sometimes, but I had to pop in at the last minute. So you go, Nate.
so I am my podcast offer 3 typical questions for my guests. Since you guys are a duo, I'm going to ask you to come together and culminate your minds and come up to a cohesive answer. You have one location that neither one of you have ever visited that is on your bucket list, and cost was not an option. Where are you going?
Ooh.
Well, Easter Island.
Easter Island.
That's a no-brainer. Easter Island.
Yep, hands down.
I have not gotten that answer before, so I love that. The Easter Island heads are so fascinating.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially since they're not just heads.
Yo,
They
their
are
bodies,
heads.
they're buried.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and just the whole concept that they, that all could be linked to the missing, Mew, or what's the other missing continent name? Mew is one of them, and then I can't try to remember the other missing continent where they actually probably did truck those across land before it all went underwater.
Right.
So Easter Island, and it would be. There's only 2 ways to get there. You either have to fly hitting Chile
We've
first,
looked into it.
or you have to fly through Tahiti. And oh gosh, wouldn't it just be awful to have to fly through Tahiti to go to Easter
that'd
Island?
be terrible.
Awful.
Oh, wouldn't it be awful?
It would be terrible. I would never subject myself to that said treatment.
Well, I would. I'll be real with you. I'll carry your luggage.
So okay, so you're going to Easter
So
Island.
we need a TikTok video now to to finance our trip to Easter
I like
Island.
I like it.
Yeah.
So we're going to Easter Island. You can
Yep.
only bring one person with you. Your spouse is inherent. You are a team. That's fine.
Mhm.
One other person. They do not have to be involved in the paranormal, and they can be alive or dead. Who are you bringing with you?
Oh my goodness, that's a toughie. Stumpzilla.
I know. It'd be
Bring
fun.
one other person.
It'd be fun to have Ozzy Osbourne there.
I could go with that. He'd be good comic relief.
Yeah.
Okay, we'd bring Ozzy with us.
I'm good with it. I like that answer, actually.
That's a new one on me.
Well, for me, after watching the Osbournes, Want to Believe
Right.
or whatever, I'm sure he learned a little bit about the paranormal.
Right?
So we're going to Easter Island. Y'all
With
bringing
Ozzy.
the King of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. And you only have one piece of equipment that you can bring with you. Only one. What piece of equipment would that be and why?
Does have to be a camera. Just
I was gonna say, is camera consider a piece of equipment?
It is.
Okay, then
have
be
to
a
be a
camera.
camera.
Yeah,
Just so we could document,
yeah,
visually,
it'd be a camera, hands down.
because we wouldn't need to, because we could write everything else down.
Yeah, we could just write things. I mean, yeah. Camera, hopefully, preferably one that actually does video too. But it's like, if you could do,
Well, if you have a
just bring
camera
our
that
cell
does video, that still
phones. Cell
counts. It's
phones.
still a camera, so that counts. But
We could-
Matt, Elizabeth, thank you guys so much for coming on the show, spending a little bit over an hour with me, chatting. And I feel like I loved having you guys on. You guys were great guests.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It's been really good fun, and that went by really
Yeah,
quick.
it's so easy to talk to you, man. I mean, it feels like an hour is not enough, and we're grateful. Thank you for, we didn't really touch base on too much of our paranormal stuff in here, but thank you for helping.
We'll get to that because I definitely want to have you guys back on.
Highlight our property and everything, so we appreciate that.
No, there's no appreciation needed. I loved having you guys on. I would like to have you back in the future because I feel like we didn't hit on nearly anything that we could have. So if you guys wouldn't mind hanging out in the background, I'm going to close out the show with Gwen, and then we got one more ad to run, and I have a question for you guys that I ask everyone after the show ends.
Awesome.
I'll talk to you guys in a minute. So,
All right. I'm sorry I missed it. I was on a show that we're going to Deep South Paracon in Alabama. Which
yeah,
you know
whatever,
about.
dude. Show was more important than my show. It's whatever,
No,
dude.
and I was trying to get here, and and somebody's at my door. So yeah, there that is. I'm coming. Give me a minute. Sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah, I know.
It's fine.
I
It's
know.
whatever. So
But
that was a great
up?
conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I definitely could talk to them for another 3 or 4 hours without issue.
Nice.
I think that they have a lot of knowledge, and if you're in the Wisconsin area, please be sure to go and check out the Humbird Bar and Grill. Absolutely, go and do it. If you're coming to Broadhead for an event, make the 3-hour trek. Go and check it out. It's at least worth seeing, right? So I definitely think that they're amazing people. They're genuine. I enjoyed having them on the show. And if you guys missed it, please be sure to go back and check out the first show of the Wicked Wednesday block with Christina Bloom and the Paramystic Podcast. She had on, I'm going to butcher his last name, but I'm pretty sure it's Pete Abra.
She actually had a repeat because her computer crashed yesterday, and plans don't happen.
Just go back and check out the repeat then.
There you go.
And then the show before mine, Shane McClain, Bridging the Seen Unseen. He had on my partner Morgan Caldwell, and she, I think, amazed him in the way that she was doing things and her abilities. So if you've missed out on that show, you missed out on a great show.
Go back and watch it.
You just watched mine, and you already know I don't care what you think about my show. I just have fun. And then following my show, you have Twisted Tales with Jeremy Cotter, where he has on All Access His Own, Leachiana Brown.
Yeah.
Do not miss out on that as we close out the Wicked Wednesday show coming up very here shortly with Twisted Tales. I thank you all for tuning in, and I thank my guests for being here tonight. And I will see you all next Wicked Wednesday as I welcome author J.W. Walker. And it's going to be an amazing conversation. I will see you all next Wicked Wednesday. Same spooky time, same spooky network. Y'all have a good night.